In this Java tutorial, we're making a while loop with user input. I have a class that just has a scanner inside of it. Let's say system.out.println, enter a whole number. And then we'll use our scanner to read in a whole number. And we'll just store it in an integer number. So number equals, I call it to next int. So let's run this right now. And of course it's going to crash if we just put some characters in. So we get an input mismatch exception. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our call to next int inside of a while loop. And inside that while loop, there's going to be a try catch block. So we'll just say while, and our condition is going to be not success. You can name yours whatever you want. Just a variable that stands for whether the value has been correctly read into number. So we'll make that variable just below number. I'll go boolean success equals false. Booleans are just variables that can only have two values, true or false. So here we're saying while not success. So while success is not true. And then we'll set success to true if a value is successfully read in. So we'll put a try catch block inside of here, which is just something that surrounds code that can often make an error. So our code where we're trying to store a value inside of our number is likely to cause an error since someone might put characters in. So we just surround it with a try block saying try and do this, but if it doesn't work, then catch the exception. The exception is pretty much just the Java word for an error. So we go catch exception E, and then we're just going to go e.print stack trace. Printing the stack trace is just what happened down here. Java automatically did it when our program crashed before. So we're going to print it inside of our catch block. We're going to say, hey, if it's not successful, then catch that exception and just print this error message. Since we're using a try catch block and a while loop, our program actually isn't going to crash when they enter though. So we'll still get this error message, but the program won't crash, so they can try again to enter an integer value. So I'll just copy and paste that call to next int, and we'll put it inside of our try block. And on the next line in the try block, let's just put success equals true. So if there's an error in trying to scan a number from next int into number, then the code isn't going to make it to this line. Instead, it's just going to go directly from this line here, line 14, down to our catch block. So success won't be set to true. The only way success is going to be set to true is if an integer is successfully scanned into number. And inside of our catch block, let's just print out a message. System.out.println, nice try, not an int. If we run this right now, it's not going to work. Let's see what happens. We get enter a whole number, and then it's just going to enter a never-ending loop if I enter something that's not a number. So it'll just keep printing out our stack trace and printing nice try, not an int. So I'll stop this. What we have to do is we have to clear the buffer, because if scnr.nextInt isn't successful in scanning in an integer, then it just leaves whatever is in the buffer. So we still have the characters that we entered in the buffer, and it just keeps trying over and over and over to read in those characters. So in our catch block, we're just going to clear out the buffer. Below e.printStackTrace, let's just go scnr.nextLine, which will just clear out the buffer for us. So now if we run it, we get enter a whole number, and we type in some characters, and then it prints out our stack trace, which is just the input mismatch exception again. But this time it stops and it says nice try, not an int, and we can just enter an integer now. So if we go 15, then it successfully enters in. I'll put in a message here just to show that it's actually taking it in. So if we say nice try, not an int, try again. And then below our catch block and our while loop, then we'll just print out the value that got scanned into number. Let's just put it inside of our try block, because otherwise number won't be in scope and I don't feel like moving it. So let's go system.out.println you entered plus number. So we'll run this again and we'll do the same thing as last time, just it'll actually show that our number is entered. So now it enters 15. And we can do this as many times as we wanted. And it's still going to work. It'll just keep saying nice try, not an int, try again. And then we can enter an integer and it will work. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll put some awesome Java resources in the description, just some awesome books to check out and some of my other Java videos.